According to Eddie Hearn, this legal situation with Lawrence Okolie is still not resolved. I'm not sure what that's all about, what's going on, but Okolie clearly feels strong in his position. Ben Shalom and Sky clearly feel strong in their position because they're apparently going ahead and having this Okolie fight on Sky. Was that because of a purse bid? I don't think it went to a purse bid, did it? So I don't know what's going on there. Anyway, presuming Okolie goes ahead and fights David Light, the question then is, who does he fight next? Does he unify with Ilunga Makabu or Jay Opataya? How long will Lawrence Okolie stay in the cruiserweight division? He's a very big guy for the weight. Is he struggling now to do the 200-pound limit? Or does he think he can actually maintain and stay strong at 200 pounds long enough to become undisputed? We will see. But for me, an interesting question is, what happens when he moves up to heavyweight? How well can Lawrence Okolie do? Now, the division, despite what naysayers say, and this has always been the case with the heavyweight division, I've always noticed that the heavyweight division tends to get more criticism and is more readily dismissed in terms of talent than any other division in boxing. You look at the welterweight division. You don't get people saying, oh, it's a terrible division. It's nowhere near as good as it used to be. Oh, it's so rubbish now. But this is the standard thing you get. People are so hyperbolic with the heavyweight division. They go so overboard in trashing it, including well-established boxing journalists, certain boxing trainers. The division can literally be packed full of talent, but you'll have all these people coming out saying, oh, heavyweight division is nothing like it used to be. It's so rubbish. It's a weird thing that people have with the heavyweight division. Anyway, the reality is the heavyweight division is stacked with talent right now. It's a dangerous division. Lots of guys out there who on their day could wrestle a version of the world title off one of the champions. So for Lawrence Okolie to be going into that environment, I mean, it's perilous. One fight, if this fighter who I'm about to mention decides to continue their career for much longer, one fight I think would be good for Lawrence Okolie would be the Dillian Whyte fight. Now, we know they got history. They sparred back in the days. We all remember the video of Baby Ting, where he confronted Lawrence Okolie about releasing that sparring clip on some Suge Knight flex. So yeah, they got history. Lawrence Okolie has always seemed confident that he could beat Dillian Whyte. And at this stage, you got to figure that Lawrence Okolie's got a pretty good shot because Dillian Whyte is getting hurt in literally every fight he's in. I mean, even in the last fight, he was hurt, just as he was in the previous fight. Not the Povetkin rematch, of course, because Povetkin didn't land anything in the rematch. But in the first Povetkin fight, he was out cold. Prior to that, he fought Mariusz Wach and he was hurt in that fight. Prior to that, who did he fight? Was it Rivas? And he was down in that fight. Prior to that, who was it? Was it the Chisora rematch? I don't think he got hurt in the Chisora rematch. But he was certainly hurt in the Joseph Parker fight. So, I mean, Dillian Whyte gets hurt virtually every fight now. I got to figure that Lawrence Okolie is the fresher fighter. The thing about Okolie is that, yeah, he's tall and lanky and he can punch and all this kind of thing, but he's still got that issue where he gets anxious when fighters are close to him. And against someone like Dillian Whyte, who can fight well on the inside, that might be a problem. It'll be a matter of whether Okolie can land the shots on the outside necessary to keep Dillian Whyte in his place and maybe to knock Dillian Whyte out or hurt Dillian Whyte before Dillian Whyte can drag him into the trenches. Because if Dillian Whyte can drag Lawrence Okolie into the trenches, I think Lawrence is in trouble, to be honest with you, because Dillian Whyte is very strong up close. Okolie's strong too, but Whyte is the better fighter in those close quarters with the slipping and blocking and the shots and the left hook and all that kind of thing. He's much more comfortable fighting somebody up close than Lawrence Okolie is. Maybe Lawrence Okolie's mobile enough, to just stay away from Dillian Whyte and walk him onto a big right hand at some stage. There's not that much in it in terms of height. I think maybe Okolie's a couple of inches taller, 6'5". Dillian Whyte's probably around 6'3". So yeah, I think that's a good fight, an interesting fight. And if he were able to beat Dillian Whyte, he'd probably get a world title shot off the back of that. That's assuming that Dillian Whyte hasn't already lost again before that. It's a fight which was interesting to me a few years ago when that sparring footage was released, and it's still interesting to me now. From a stylistic perspective, the history, the background, the personality. Yeah, a lot of people don't understand the Lawrence Okolie Holden thing. And obviously it's ugly to watch, right? But they don't get why he always does it and why he doesn't just box, or, they say, oh, he doesn't know how to fight on the inside. Yeah, he doesn't know how to fight on the inside, but I think he knows better than he's showing because of the fact he's anxious. And when people get close to him, he just gets nervous, and the quick thing to do is just grab him rather than actually sit on the inside and start swapping shots, you see? So I think it's an anxiousness problem. Anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comments below about Lawrence Okolie, his career from here on in. Maybe David Light. I'm sure David Light is looking to derail any of Lawrence Okolie's plans. But if he does manage to beat Light, let's say unifies, or even if he doesn't and then moves up to heavyweight, who would you guys like to see him in with in the heavyweight division? Do you think he can beat Dillian Whyte? Again, the first thing that comes to my head when I think of Dillian Whyte these days is the chin, and Lawrence Okolie can punch. But it is a bit deeper than that. You can't just say, oh, this guy doesn't have a chin and this guy's got a big punch and therefore it's a foregone conclusion. No, boxing is a lot more complicated. And Dillian Whyte has skills, that Lawrence Okolie doesn't have on the inside. So anyway, I'll leave it there.